YouTuberinos, what's going on? Bowman 1951, enjoying my Friday night. I just woke up from like a 3-hour nap after work. I feel amazing. Wife is off at work herself, and I'm just enjoying myself in the baseball card room tonight. Got a show-off video of what's been coming in recently. We're going to combine two different things tonight. We're going to do a handful of 1951 Bowmans that came in the mail, as well as show off some I guess you can call them vintage at this point, some vintage football cards that my cousin-in-law, Sergeant Jarhead 99, had given to me recently. So a few of these are already off to PSA to be graded, but I've got some of the leftovers to show you. So let's get to it. I've actually switched this video this week. I switched my whole video system on my iPhone to 4K. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference in terms of card videos, but I did want to let you know it's an option for viewing. I'm going to upload them as such. It's probably going to take me a lot longer to do so. But if they're looking that much clearer, they've gone from 1080 to 4K. Let's see if it makes a difference on the close-ups. So our first one up here, 1951 Bowman. Bob Kuzawa. And I was reading his biography here before I showed this off. I love the 51 Bowmans because they often talk about right here at the very bottom how much these players were a part of World War II. So he was in the service for 3 years. And I'm assuming that was either right after World War II or during it. It doesn't really specify, but it is cool, man. You know, all these guys, we thank them for their service, the greatest generation. And we often forget that they weren't paid a ton of money to play baseball then. And they were joining the military, as many did, like Ted Williams and a few others that are slipping my mind right now. But again, that's just such a cool fact. Next up, we got Dick Sisler, the Phillies, PSA 6, well centered here. Beautiful example of the card. So with this 3 here, I am quickly approaching 15% of my completed set. It's been a slog. I've been averaging maybe 1 to 2 per week. Usually I'll go on buying binges and get them. And was he in the... He was not mentioned in the service, but my last card was. So let's show you that one here. So many of you, if you're a little bit older, probably remember Joe Garagiola being an announcer for many games. This is a PSA 4 example. And I remember Joe, he may have done some World Series, if I'm not mistaken, but I definitely know he was on the air for NBC for a long time. And I think this one was a PSA 4 because of that unfortunate mark in the upper left-hand corner there. But again, this is another player who, they talk about 3 seasons spent in the service. So these guys broke up their time playing baseball with being in the military, which is awesome. All right, let's move on to some football next. The example out there is of Sweetness himself, Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears. So 1980, it was 1985, Super Bowl 25, I believe. No, Super Bowl 20, I'm sorry. Was the Patriots versus the Bears. And it's really the first Super Bowl I remember. I was around 7 or 8 years old. And everybody loved the Super Bowl Shuffle and Jim McMahon, their fridge, and Walter Payton, of course. And he became one of my favorite players of all time. I've been trying to track down a bunch of his cards over the years and haven't really focused on it that much yet. But then, as I mentioned earlier, Sergeant Jarhead 99 came along and just showed me some of his old cards that he had. So that's what we're going to go through now. I think I sent off 3 to PSA. Those went out to Dustin Bellinger last week, so we're anticipating probably 2 months before I can show off the slabs from this batch here, but I picked out the best of the best that I could find. And first up is this 1981 sticker that was in there. Now, I'm almost a little upset I didn't send this off. It's in pretty good shape. I just don't know what values are on these after they're slabbed up. You can take a look at it here. Oh, no, damage it. 1981 Topps sticker. I'm going to quickly go through these. Most of them are from 77 to like 83. And that one in the background looks nice. We'll take one more quick look at it. But unfortunately, it's got some surface scratches that would have definitely kept the grade down on it. It was a candidate, but upon further inspection, just wasn't meant to be. So we've got this one here. Topps card from '83. I guess that's his brother in real life. All-Pro card of Payton. Some of these are just unfortunately off-center too, or the corners or edges just weren't good enough. This one's off-center, bottom to top. That's why that one didn't make it. 1978 record breaker. This one's off-center, left to right. Otherwise, in really good shape. I remember why this one didn't make it. Find the center on the back. That's why I decided against it. '77 rushing leaders. Never heard from that guy on the left again, did we? Man, never heard of him. Again, some team leaders. This is another late 70s card. Yep, 77. Scoring leaders card. Another one I just never really heard of from again. Maybe he was the kicker. And lastly, off center. Otherwise, pretty good shape. 1979 team leaders of the Bears. All right, that's going to be it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Next video up is going to be something I'm really excited about. I won't mention it just yet, but I picked up some more expensive cards during eBay's dad sale for Father's Day. And I'm really happy to pick up one of my first slab cards for this particular player that everybody chases. Probably not too hard to guess, but you know, I'm just really happy to add it to my collection coming up. Keep collecting, keep the hobby alive. Love you all. Have a great one.